Welcome to One Girl in All the World, the Buffy the Vampire Slayer rewatch podcast where we recap each episode in order and discuss. I'm Ashley, Buffy superfan.
Kimmy, Buffy newbie.
You can find us on all major podcast apps, YouTube, and Instagram with new episodes on Tuesdays. All right, it's time for Intervention, where we meet one of my favorite characters. She's the Buffy bot. I love the Buffy bot.
This is one of your favorite characters?
I think she's just hilarious in every way. Like, I just think she's so funny.
She's really great. Her character's pretty good. She was much better than the other bot that we came across.
April. Yeah, no, I love the Buffy bot. She is so funny. Okay, so I guess we'll just get into it. So Intervention originally aired April 24th, 2001, written by Jane Epstein and directed by Michael Gershom. And the synopsis is Buffy travels to a sacred location on a solemn quest guided by the first Slayer, with the hopes of uncovering why she has become emotionally paralyzed and to help her regain focus towards slaying. Back in Sunnydale, unable to have the real thing, Spike builds a Buffy robot who is picture-perfect replica and also devoted to the rogue as it leaves the Scooby Gang reeling and Glory's minions convinced he is the key. That's a good synopsis, honestly.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't read it before watching it.
Well, don't.
Spoiler. I don't do that. I know you don't like me to have spoilers.
Yeah.
Ashley's very strict with her spoiler thingies.
I just want you to have a genuine watching experience.
Oh,
okay.
That's good.
Oh gosh, this episode it's so ridiculous for much of it, and then it takes such a turn.
I really liked this episode though. I don't know why. I texted Ashley while I was watching this and I was like, this was a great episode. And Ashley was like, huh.
I thought you didn't
Not what I was
like
expecting. She didn't think I was going to like it.
Yeah.
I really liked it. I thought it was great. Much better than the last episode, as a matter of fact. Yeah. What did we give the last episode? A 4. Yep. Much better.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so we start at Buffy's where Giles, Buffy, and Dawn are having dinner. They're cleaning up after dinner.
They're doing dishes, yeah.
Yeah, Giles has come over and cooked, and now he's helping clean up. So she's like, you cook.
He's being like a fatherly figure.
He's stepping
nice.
in. He's stepping in for them. And he's, he asks Buffy, like, how are you guys doing? And she says that they're okay. They're trying to get into some kind of routine. And he says, okay, well, I was thinking maybe we could get back into training. And she's really hesitant about it.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I had assumed her hesitancy to get back into it was because she was still grieving.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not really to do with it.
More than that, yeah. So they go and sit down on the couch in the living room. And she kind of talks to him about how she fears that slaying, like to kill and to slay, and like being the Slayer is turning her into stone.
It's hardness. There's a hardness to her now.
Yeah. And she feels like she can't love or be loved because of being the Slayer.
She wasn't there for Riley.
Yeah. And she was worried that her mom didn't know that she loved her. Which I think that's just a grief thing. That's just a grief thing where everyone's like, did they know?
Yeah, of course her mom knew.
Yeah. And, of course, Giles says, well, when you're going through a time like this, it's totally normal to feel these things. And she's like, no, I was feeling it before Joyce passed away.
This has just amplified it for her, I feel like.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. She says she's really serious about this. Like, she's worrying that she's losing the ability to love. And he says that in the Watcher's Diaries, there is a quest that some Slayers in the past have gone on to kind of regain their focus and get answers. So it's out in the desert. So there's like a sacred place in the desert, not far, how convenient. And then it would take a few days. But I think he could do that. And she's like, oh, I can't leave Dawn. Like, her mom's gone, and obviously Glory's after her, so she can't leave Dawn. So Dawn comes in and she says to Buffy that, yeah, you should go. If it can help you, you should go. I'll be fine. I'll hang with the gang. And Buffy's like, I love you. I love you, Dawn. She's like, I love you too. No, I love you. She's like, okay, this is getting
weird and creepy.
Getting creepy. She's like, I just need you to know. And she's like, okay. And she's like, weird love's better than no love, right? And then who do we go to see? We go to Warren's, and Spike is picking up the Buffy bot. It's ready to be picked up. And he's looking at her. We see like a Buffy standing there with her eyes closed.
She looks a lot like Buffy.
She looks like Buffy, but he's not sure. He's like, maybe she looks a little bit plastic. Like, I'm not really sure if this is gonna fly. And then Buffy comes to life. Buffy Bot comes to life and kisses him. And he's like, yep, this will be okay.
Will do.
Like, very, very convincing. So he's happy with it. Then we go to the credits and we come back. And we're at Glory's. And she says that Ben is getting stronger.
Oh, yeah. And what if, like, does she just mean that he's able to, like, take more control of their situation? Is that what that means? Like, I still feel like we don't know a lot about them. I'm curious to know when we're going to learn more about them. Because, like, usually in the Buffyverse, we have our big evil person or like demon or whatever. Yeah. And then they're like kind of wrapped up by the end of the season. I guess Adam kind of carried over, but I was just like, we don't know much about her yet. So I'm like, is she going to be in the next season now? It's interesting. I know you're not going to answer that. That's fine. This is me thinking aloud.
No problem. Yeah. So she says that the key, she knows the key and the Slayer are connected somehow. So she tells her minions to watch the Slayer and her friends and find out who is like new in her life and who she's like protecting. Because that could be who the key is.
How does she act around all the people in her life?
Yeah, so they're going to do some recon for her. In the desert, Giles and Buffy arrive. And he gets some supplies out of a trunk, which is a book, a gourd, and a bunch of twigs.
And then his little, what he has to do to like get her ready for her excursion.
Oh so he has to do a ritual which transfers his guardianship to the guide because he's like her guardian. That's the Watcher. So he temporarily transfers his guardianship to this guide, and he essentially does the hokey pokey. He's like, I jump out of the circle. I jump out of the circle. I jump back in the circle, and I shake my gourd.
So weird.
There's so many gourd jokes in this show.
There really are. Yeah.
More than a normal show.
I feel like there must be something with one of the writers that we don't know about.
I don't know. They love to have a gourd joke. And so he's going to do the hokey pokey. So at Spike's, he is fighting, air quotes, with Buffy, air quotes. So they're kind of like sparring and all of this, and it's very flirty.
She can't stake him though. She's too helpless against him.
She's too helpless against him. Like she just like, I just can't do it. Yeah. And so they kiss and we fade to black, but it's gonna keep going. All right. So Spike is having his first fake Buffy experience, I guess. Well, he's had a few with the real Buffy, but you know what I mean. All right. So while Spike's getting it on with Buffy Bot, we go back to the desert, and Giles is reading the ritual. And actually, we have what he's saying. So Giles reads the ritual. It's in Swahili, and he says, translated English, it says, "That which I am pledged to guard and guide, I hand over to you. Lead her to a place of safety and learning. Give her that which she needs. Show her the path." That's what he says in the ritual.
Cool.
And then Buffy just like starts walking into the desert.
Well, she follows a cougar, right?
Yeah.
She sees a cougar and starts following it?
Yeah, or a lion or whatever it is.
Something. I think it's a cougar. Yeah, okay.
I'm just gonna call it a lion for ease of whatever. So she sees a lion and she starts leading. She's like, "Hello, kitty," to the lion, and then she or like a panther maybe. Anyway, she starts it starts walking away. So it's leading her. So she starts following it. And she comes to this one area of the desert, and she says, like, she recognizes the place. Yeah. All right, so at Xander's, Tara does that warning spell that they had on the house and stuff for, like, supernatural things at Xander's, because Dawn's staying there.
Yeah, to protect everybody.
Yeah, and Xander and Anya are going to do patrolling, and Tara's going to stay there with Dawn, and Willow's at class. So that's the plan. Dawn is there, and she sees a pair of Anya's earrings on, like, the coffee table.
Yeah. And she swipes them.
She takes them.
What was that?
She just decides to steal them.
Wow.
But it's really weird because it's two different sets of earrings. When we see the close up, it's completely different from the ones that she takes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like very different. Like, so, I don't know. Yeah, weird. But the minions are watching through the window. One of the minions is watching through the window at all of her friends there. So back at Spike's, Buffy Bot and Spike are having some pillow talk. And Buffy Bot is really playing up Spike's ego.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's like, I'm so scared of you. I know you could bite me. If I let you bite me, you probably could bite me because of the chip. Like, if I give you permission, you probably could bite me. And very much into this. Spike's very much into this. And then she says, should I start this program over? And he's like, oh, no. Don't say that. Don't use words like that. Like, just be Buffy. Like, like, robot talk.
No computer talk.
Yeah. And then she's like, okay. And then it's like, fine again. So on campus, Willow is leaving school. She's lending out her notes to a classmate, and God, like, forbid you ask Willow for her notes. Like, she's like, don't bend the pages, don't do this, don't do that, don't drink near them. I'm like, oh, Willow, like, Jesus. I would be like, you know what? I'll just fail. Here's your notes back. But yeah, she walks away, and a minion is watching her. So they have eyes on all the different friend groups, or wherever the friends are. So back at Spike is sleeping. He's worn out. And Buffy Bot says, okay, like, I'm the Slayer, so I have to go out and slay. So she gets ready and she heads out.
That is hilarious because I wasn't expecting Buffy Bot to be programmed to slay.
Yeah. And so he leaves. I mean, she leaves while he's sleeping.
Great idea. Good job, Spike.
So in the desert, Giles is like sitting there waiting, having tea or coffee.
Yeah, he looks like he's just drinking tea.
Yeah. I was like, what else is he supposed to do? Sit in the middle of the desert.
But how did he even get it? Like, he just had a thermos with him?
I guess he brought it because he knew he was going to be out there.
Oh, man.
With a bunch of twigs as well. And Buffy just waits, and she's just waiting there as it gets dark. So in the graveyard, Buffy Bot runs into Xander and Anya because they were out doing the patrol because Buffy was out of town.
And in this scene, or like in general, actually, I kind of feel like, you know, Anya kind of has sometimes a strange way of talking. Buffy Bot reminds me of Anya's talking.
Yeah,
like she kind of talks like Anya, and I just like nobody noticed right away.
Yeah, no, I feel like it's funny because like right away I feel like Buffy Bot and Anya get along.
Yes, which should have been your first red flag
because we see like through the only like a couple few times in this we see like a POV of the Buffy Bots like POV,
yeah,
and it's like all these different things. So it says like it senses who we're looking at. So it says Xander. It says he's a friend, a carpenter, dates Anya. And then we have like we have a hard drive, like a slaying folder. We have Make Spike Happy, which is like kissing 1, kissing 2, positions like 1 through 6 or something. Like all these different things for Spike. Yeah, so she has that's like her like desktop that she sees. So that's where she's getting all of her information about Xander. And she looks over to Anya, and she gets a new kind of set there, and it says ex-demon likes money, like I guess dates Xander or whatever. And she's like, Anya, how was your money? And Anya's just like, thanks for asking.
Yeah,
thanks for asking.
The best ever. Yeah,
they're just like, wow, like close now. But obviously, everyone like Xander is like, yeah, you're acting really weird, and like, why are you back so soon as well?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
were you supposed to be away?
Yeah. And Spike then finds them. He runs up out of breath. And he's like, oh, hey, yes. Hey, Buffy. Like, we were just patrolling. There's a lot of vampires out tonight. And, like, she keeps trying to, like, touch him. And like, he's like, ow, leave me alone.
He's terrible at this.
I know. And I love when Buffy Bot's like, it's Spike, and he's wearing the coat. She like touches his arm. He's like, "Hey, ow! Give a fellow a break, Slayer!" like she's trying to hurt him. So, and then Spike just made this up off the top of his head that there was all these vampires, but it turns out there are. So
yeah, it's so funny. He's like,
yep.
There's a bunch of vampires, and then they all just like appear.
Yep, look at that. He's like, oh great. I don't know what's worse, that was true, or that now they're all distracted. So as they're fighting, all 4 of them are fighting the vampires, and Buffy's like, be careful, Spike, and all of this, and like tries to like grab a vampire off of him and everything. So the minions see this. See that
she's very protective of him.
Of Spike, yeah. And so at the end, Spike sends Anya and Xander home. They're like, yeah, I'm sure that's all that was going to happen tonight. Like, you guys go home. Like, we'll finish. Like, just go ahead. And so
Buffy does not seem satisfied from
this is like
playing, though.
Yeah. This is like the post-slayage sexual frustration that Faith has talked about.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Okay.
And Buffy, it's a thing. It's a thing. Like, as much as Buffy pretends it isn't, it is. So the Buffy bot has been programmed to have that too. So they're just like, coming on to each other again. And then walking out of the graveyard, Xander says, like, something's not right. Because she didn't ask about Dawn.
Yeah,
like,
which
she
is
would
weird.
never have not asked about Dawn.
She came
wrong.
just straight out to patrol and
when she saw them, she didn't, like, ask about Dawn. So they go back, and then they see Buffy and Spike boning in the graveyard. Out in the open in the graveyard. Yep. So at Xander's, Tara and Willow are watching this, like, a documentary on the Salem witch trials, which is really upsetting to them. And then Xander and Anya come in, and Dawn is asleep in the bedroom. Xander and Anya come in and are like, yeah, Buffy's having sex with Spike. And
Willow tries to defend her.
Yeah.
She's like, well, people go through a lot when they're grieving, and sometimes they do things they normally wouldn't do.
Yeah. They try to be understanding about it. And Xander says, you know what, I'm going to go find her and talk to her because, like, she did something crazy. But, you know, if she's going through something, like, we need to talk to her and stuff before she, like, gets hurt. So Xander's going to go off and do that. So at the desert, Buffy wakes. She's, like, falling asleep on this rock in the middle of the desert. But she wakes up and there's just, like, roaring fire in front of her.
And she sees someone.
Sees somebody there. Who are you?
Creepy looking someone.
Who are you? So at Spike's, I will just say that Buffy and Spike are interrupted.
And she needs to hide.
They're interrupted.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then somebody knocks on the door. So he's like, he sends Buffy bot down into his crypt. You know, he has the downstairs area. He's like, don't come out until I come get you. Whatever. Don't come out. She's like, okay. She goes down there. And it's Xander. I guess he figures he'll find Buffy there if they're doing it. And he confronts Spike about having sex with Buffy. And Spike's like, hey, you know, if she needs comfort, like, because of her mom, she's upset with her mom. Like, I'm not going to deny her the comfort. He's like,
I'm not a monster. Oh, God.
And Xander's like, actually, you are. Vampires are monsters. They make monster movies about them.
And then he starts threatening him. And I'm like, damn, Xander.
Yeah. He starts threatening him, like, that he needs to leave Buffy alone. But then, before he can go any further, the minions all bust into Spike's crypt and knock Xander out. And he's like, oh, Spike's like, okay, I guess you don't know who these people are either. And they, like, grab Spike and take him out. So Xander's unconscious in the crypt, and they take Spike. So back in the desert, Buffy talks to the first Slayer. I think her name was, like, Sinea, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, okay.
Because we saw her in Restless. And when Buffy says, I know this place, it was because of Restless.
She remembers it, yeah.
Yeah. So from the other side of the fire, you, like, see the first Slayer. And so Buffy talks about, well, she doesn't even tell her. The first Slayer knows that it's kind of like the guide is taking, like, the form of the first Slayer. But she talks about how she thinks that Buffy is losing the ability to love. Like, she thinks that being the Slayer is losing her humanity. And Buffy's like, yeah, like, that's exactly why I'm here. And they have this kind of, the first Slayer says a lot of things that are kind of like riddles.
Yes.
That you're full of love. You have so much love to give. You live with your whole soul.
Blinding.
Yeah. And, like, basically that pain is, like, Slayer forges strength from pain. Mm-hmm. And so, like, loving is worth that pain.
And she needs to risk pain.
She needs to risk the pain for love, because that's where you get your strength. So we're kind of piecing it together here. So the first Slayer says, love will bring you to your gift. And Buffy's like, does that mean I'm going to get a gift, or I have a gift to give? So she's trying to, like, figure this all out. Back at Spike's crypt, Buffy Bot comes out because she's like, I tried to stay down there, but then I missed you. And she just walks out to find Spike, bypassing Xander, who was still passed out on the floor. So at Xander's, Buffy Bot comes to Xander's looking for Spike because she knows, like, where her friends live and everything. So everybody's asleep, so Willow takes Buffy Bot out on the balcony.
And Willow's worried about her.
But she was worried about her. And we see for Willow's, like, profile, it says, like, which gay 1999 to present, which is when she met Tara. Good with computers. Like, she's got all these things. And best friend. She's like, you're my best friend. She's like, I am. And that's why I'm worried about you. Like, we're not judging you. But, you know, we think you're, like, you're sleeping with Spike. Are you sleeping with him? And she's like, yeah, I am. I am definitely. Well,
Willow's like, A one-time thing?
She says, like, no, but I'm having sex with him. I'm not sleeping with him. I'm having sex with him. Lots of times in lots of different ways.
Oh my God, yeah.
I can draw sketches. Will's like, no, thank you. I don't need the sketches. Thank you. And she's like, Willow's like, what? Like, I'm trying to, like, communicate with you here, but, like, what is going on? But they're interrupted because Xander bursts in and wakes everybody up because he says the demons that how you described Glory's minions look like, what did he say? Hobbits with leprosy came and got Spike. So I think they're taking him to Glory. And obviously he knows about Dawn. So they kind of look to Buffy, and she's Buffy Bot. And she's like, I fight with weapons. They're like, okay, yeah, we should go get weapons. Like, Buffy Bot is just totally winging it. She doesn't even know, like, what to do. But she's like, I fight with weapons.
Really quickly, when we go back to Willow and Buffy Bot talking, Willow brings up Angel, and I just thought it was really funny.
Yeah.
Buffy Bot's like, well, Angel's lame. He's bloody stupid. And I'm like, Buffy doesn't talk like that. Come on, guys.
Yeah, that was obviously specifically mentioned that he wants Buffy Bot to hate Angel.
And just bloody stupid is something only Spike would say.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, God.
Goodness, anyway.
That's funny. I mean, even when she says that, Willow's like, okay. I don't know what to say to that, but okay. So back in the desert, Buffy's continues to talk to the First Slayer, and she says, love will lead you to your gift. What is what are you talking about? And she says, death is your gift.
Yeah, like, what does that mean? Death is not a gift, she says.
Yeah, I just lost my mother.
And she's like, your question has been answered. Bye.
Yeah, and it's just gone. Buffy's like,
okay. So I'm guessing you're not going to give me any information on this, are you? No, of course not. Okay. No. But do you now know what this means then? Because you've seen past this? You've seen the whole everything?
This is, like, not pointless. Like, there's definitely...
It's frustrating for those of us who don't know what it means. Will this resolve by the end of this season, or is it going to go further?
This conversation?
This whole... You're full of love. Wait, love will bring you to your gift. Death is your gift.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you only have a few episodes.
Okay.
So it's not like 5 seasons from now.
Well, just because this whole thing started last season, right? Or the season before?
Restless. I was like the season finale of Restless.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Okay.
It was when we first kind of got introduced to this.
Yeah, and then I just feel like it's been so long since we've kind of went back to it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alrighty. Yeah, and then she's gone. So at Giles, they bring... No, Glory's. I put G's, so I get confused. So at Glory's, they bring Spike in, and immediately Glory's like, no. This is a vampire. They're impure. And
can't even suck his brain.
Can't even suck his brain. He's like completely useless. And... Oh, sorry, I just saw a squirrel jump from the roof into the tree, and he's like, Rah! He made it. It's fine. These freaking, they're like daredevils. I like watch them. I'm like, oh God, don't do it. Like, don't jump so far. I thought they were fine. Yeah, Glory immediately is like, no, he can't be the key. He's a vampire. Can't even brain suck a vampire. And they have to be new to this world. Like somebody new. And so, yeah, he's useless. And the minions say, but she protected him like above all others. She treated him as precious. And she's like, really? Okay, well, he maybe has some information then. So I'm just going to like torture this information out of him. Oh, yeah. So she basically starts torturing Spike, and she like digs her finger into his chest and like.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. That was so.
Like bloodies him up. Like she's already starting to like beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
So it's not good. At Buffy's, they get there. They are getting weapons, and Buffy Bot is like, we have to save Spike. And they're like, why don't you go change? And get some more things upstairs so they can like talk about her down here.
Intervention.
Intervention time. They're like, they think we're going to save Spike. Like, if we have to, we're going to kill him to keep the secret. Like, she thinks we're going to save him. Like, I don't know what we're going to do. And then Buffy comes back and is talking to them, and they kind of confront her. They do the intervention, like, about sleeping with Spike. And Buffy's like, I'm not sleeping with Spike. And Xander's like, I understand. Like, he's like compact but well muscled, and like I get what the appeal. And Buffy's like, I am not sleeping with him. Like, what are you guys talking about? And then Buffy Bot comes down and is like, who's talking about Spike? He's mine. And then everyone's like, oh my God, like, what is happening? And Xander's
And Buffy's like, she's a robot.
But first, remember, Xander says, I know of this. Like, they're both Buffy. Because remember, for him and the replacement, he got split. So he thinks this is what's happening. And Buffy's like, no, she's a robot. You guys couldn't tell that she was a robot?
She's bad, yeah. You can't tell me apart from a robot.
You can't tell me apart from a robot. Like, she's just like April. Like, this is very obvious. Like, within 2 seconds, Buffy figured it out. And they're like, oh, man. Like, oh, Spike built this robot. And they're like, oh, and they realize that it's a sex bot, essentially. Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah. So, and Buffy Bot's like, why are we talking about this? Like, oh, but she just says, I don't think I'm a robot. And then Buffy Bot says, we have to hurry. Like, Glory has Spike and we have to save him. And she's like, what? Yeah, okay. We need to find Spike and we're going to kill him because we have to keep his secret. We have to keep the secret. They don't know. She just knows where to start to look for Glory. Because if you remember when she killed that, like, key-sniffing snake thing, it was heading towards Glory. So she kind of knows, like, the direction that they can start looking for Glory. At Glory's, Spike is, like, chained to the ceiling and is, like, really, like, torturing him.
She's torturing him. Oh, my God.
Torturing him really bad. And he eventually says, okay, I'll tell you. I'll tell you who the key is. So they're outside, like, where that snake was killed. That's what Buffy explains. Like, this is, like, it got to be in this area because this is where the snake was heading, and this is where it was. And I like when Buffy Bot says, we should listen to the other Buffy, Giles. And Giles is so upset that Spike didn't even program his name right. So he calls him Giles. And I like when Buffy starts talking to him, she's like, Giles. He's like, God. Okay, so Buffy and Xander are gonna go. They're gonna spread out. They're gonna look for the clues of where Glory could be. So Buffy and Xander are gonna go. Willow and who else was there? I don't even remember.
I just wrote Scoobies, apparently.
I think it's Anya and Willow because Tara stayed with Dawn.
Yeah.
And then Giles has to watch It. He's gonna watch It. So they spread out. So at Glory's, she's giving Spike some water because he's like, oh, I need some water. He's trying to buy time.
He's milking it. Yeah,
he's milking it. And when he drinks the water, then she like smashes the glass in his face.
Yeah, she's like, pissed.
Ready to like tell me what it is. Like, I'm done like waiting for you to tell me. He's like, okay. All right, so the key is that person on television. Is that person on television from the game show where people guess the prices of things. And the minions are so excited. They're like, oh my God. They're like, the price is right. They're like, Bob Barker, we will bring you the limp and what does he say? What do they say? We will bring you the beaten and limp body of Bob Barker.
Oh my God.
And Glory's like, no, he's old. Like, it's not Bob Barker. The minions are like, we will bring him to you immediately. They're so excited. She's like, no. And she's like, okay, you are messing with me, and now I'm gonna like make you.
And really he laughs, and
he's baits
tortured.
Her. Yeah, he baits her. So he keeps looking behind him, and he thinks that if he can bait her enough, what happens will what actually happens will happen. So that he'll get free. He'll get freed. Yeah. So he like really baits her and goes at her and says that she's like I'm a god. He's like, god of what? Bad home perms. Like, and she's like, what? Like, oh my God, my hair. And he's like trying to get her mad. And he says like, the Slayer is gonna like kick your lopsided ass back to like wherever would accept like a whorish fashion victim ex-god like you or something. And he is hitting her where it hurts. Her hair, everything, her fashion, clothes, her like butt. Her body. Like, he is hitting her where it hurts because he knows it's gonna piss her off. Yeah. And so she basically just kicks him across the room and it does free him. Yeah. And he does he's like, oh, great plan. Like when he like hits the wall. Like, that was the plan, but it hurt. It hurt. Yeah, Spike's free, kind of hobbles, drags himself to the elevator, and he, like, pries the elevator doors open. The car is not there, so he just falls forward into the elevator shaft and, like, lands on top of the elevator. and it starts going down. So then he manages to open the top of the elevator, fall into the the elevator car.
Yep.
And he's like, oh my God, like he's trying to get away the best he can. And like the minions are going to come after him. So he gets down to like the lobby, the door's open, and like the minions are there. And he's like trying to like he's getting as much strength as he can to like do his last stand, basically, like his last like ditch effort. But then he sees Buffy and Xander run in. And then he just, like, collapses. He's like, oh, they're here. So, yeah, Buffy and Xander are fighting the minions. I don't know why. Well, I don't know why Glory didn't come down and start some shit, but.
I guess she lets her minions do her job.
Yeah.
And she also knew, like, Spike's not the key. I think she understands at this point that he's not going to tell her who no matter what, so.
Yeah. So they're fighting, and then Buffy Bot and Giles arrive. And so everybody's fighting, and the Buffy Bot is, of course, like, mostly concerned about Spike. So she, like, goes to him near the elevator. And Giles is, like, struggling with one of the minions, and he, like, calls for Buffy to help him. But Buffy Bot actually responds.
Yep.
And tries to help him, but then she gets kind of thrown against the wall, and when she turns around, she's, like, short-circuiting. Yeah, she's like, woo! And then, like, passes out, air quotes or whatever, loses power. So, the minions are like, okay, we're not gonna win this one. So they run up the stairs, they run off, and when Glory confronts them, they're like, where's my vampire? He's like, well, you know, the Slayer was there and this and that, and then you just hear them screaming. So she hurts them.
Yeah,
because they let Spike get away. Yeah.
Jeez.
So at the magic box, Willow is looking at the Buffy Bot, looking into her mechanical guts.
And she thinks it's actually an easy fix, but should they fix her?
Should they fix her? Yeah. Buffy's like, oh, it's such not a good copy, at least. And they're all like, okay. Sure, Jan. It's not a good copy. Okay. And they like try to like come up. Tara tried to explain what the Buffy Bot was for to Dawn. That Spike built her to play checkers with.
Dawn, like, I'm not a kid.
Yeah, like I'm not stupid. Like I know
understand.
That, yeah. Yep. Well, it was. I mean, Tara's like, I thought it was a good idea to say that. Obviously not. Then Giles and Xander return from leaving Spike off at his crypt. They're like, they couldn't kill him. He was just so messed up. And so these two hate Spike the most, I would say. So he was in a really bad way. And they felt sorry for him.
Yeah. Xander does feel sorry for him, which is a lot for Xander.
So messed up. He gets beaten up and his favorite toy gets taken away.
Yeah.
And Buffy's like, I hope you're not suggesting that we give him the Buffy Bot back. He's like, no. He was just such in a bad, like, state of affairs. Like, that I felt sorry for him. So at Spike's, Spike is laying on the crypt thing and looking really beat up, like just totally messed up. And the Buffy Bot returns and comes in and says that Willow.
Can I just say that this is my favorite outfit of the whole season so far? Really? It's so cute, her skirt.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I want this skirt.
There was a lot of like debate about what the Buffy Bot should wear. Like a lot of people, like Sarah Michelle Gellar, like Joss, like the costume designer, all had very different ideas of what the Buffy Bot should wear. And apparently the costume designer, like, Joss Whedon, like, not a good guy. Like, not a... Yeah. So there was, like, some, like, actual, like, toxic stuff that went around. Like, there's discussion over what Buffy was going to wear. Not as far as what she was going to wear, because they were, like, arguing, and he was, like grabbed her, apparently, the, like, costume designer. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's interesting that you brought that up, because there was, like, a lot of heated stuff around this, and obviously he's out of line. Yeah.
That sucks. Okay.
Yes. We love Buffy the show. We don't support Joss Whedon. All right. So, she comes in and she says, Willow fixed her. And he's like, Willow fixed you? Like, why? And she kind of ignores that and says, why did you let Glory hurt you? And he said she wanted to know who the key was. I don't know why Spike put that information in the Buffy Bot. Anyway, like, that seems so dumb to do.
That's true.
First of all. But she's like, well, I can tell Glory and then she'll leave you alone. And he stops her. And he says, no, like, she can't ever know. If anything happened to Dawn, it would destroy Buffy, and I couldn't live with her being in that much pain.
And he'd basically rather die first.
Yeah, I'd rather die, and I nearly did. I'd rather Glory kill me first, and she nearly did. And first, also, she's like, would you like to ravage me now? And he's like, whoa, like, before this. He's like, I need a minute, because I'm, like, pretty messed up. But then, after he says all this, that he would rather die first, she kisses him.
Yeah. Yeah, she does.
And as they're kissing, he realizes it's different.
She's not a robot.
She's not a robot. It's actual Buffy. That she just pretended to be the robot to get the information, so he would be honest about what he told Glory or what he didn't tell her.
Mm-hmm.
And then she scolds him about the robot, and he looks well, from what we can see, because he's like very badly beaten. His head is hanging low. He seems very ashamed.
Yeah, as he should be.
Yes. Yep. Very ashamed and embarrassed, and she's like, it was gross and obscene, it wasn't real, and he's like taking his, like, the verbal lashing from her, and he's taking it. But she's like really grossed out and everything, and she goes to leave. When she says, yeah, that wasn't even real, but what you did for me and Dawn, that was real. And she won't forget it. And then she leaves, and he just, like, watches her walk out.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good episode.
Yeah, the ending of, like, so, like, when did you think that did you realize with Spike that it was actually Buffy, or did you think it was Buffy?
No, at first I thought it was the Buffy bot.
Yeah.
Comes in looking all cute, acting a little ditzy, and I'm like, okay, they fixed her. Weird. They must have, like, I guess she felt bad for him.
Yeah.
I thought it was weird, but I was just like, but then I realized it, I think at the same time as Spike did, so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and then she leaves. So she's mad at him, but she does recognize
and appreciates what he did,
what happened there, and she kissed him.
Yeah, because he could have told when he was being tortured. That would be hard to not give out information if you're being tortured like that.
Yeah, I think that this goes a long way for her to trust him.
Yeah,
with Dawn, you know what I mean. Yeah, so that's the end of the episode. So my favorite quote, so many though in this episode. This is such a quotable episode. There's so many good lines. Ugh. But I said, God of what? When Spike says, God of what? Bad home perms.
That was a good one, yes.
But there were so many. I also giggled way more than the line called for when Giles says, a book of gourd and a bunch of twigs. I don't know. I'm saying, like, the hokey pokey. And,
yeah, that whole hokey pokey thing was hilarious.
Like, and I shake my gourd, and, like, there was just so much funny stuff.
I shake my gourd was my second favorite quote, actually.
And then, like, the Buffy bot said a million funny things. Like, this was, like, a very funny episode. But that's the one I ended on. And then my favorite scene, of course, was, like, the end scene with Buffy and Spike. No competition. So, yeah.
Okay. My favorite line was actually at the very beginning when Buffy was trying to talk to Dawn about how much she loves her, and she's like, weird love's better than no love. Like,
that is the theme of this whole episode. Weird love's better than no love.
That's right. I liked that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And my favorite scene was also the same as yours, the end scene.
Yeah.
Buffy and Spike.
It's interesting, like, yeah, for such a, like, silly episode, it had, like, a quite important ending.
Yeah, I think that's why I like this episode so much, because it was so funny, but it had the serious stuff in it too.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, yeah, so you said that. Okay, so my stick rating was a 4.8. Uh-oh. Same.
Rematch. That doesn't happen very often, folks. That's exciting.
All right, so introducing the Buffy bot. Funny character. I love the Buffy bot. I think she's hilarious. Yeah. Very well done by Sarah Michelle Gellar. I think she just was perfect. Like, the Buffy bot is just so funny. So I love the Buffy bot. I'm so excited that Matt has, like, mentioned the Buffy bot to you a few times, and I'm like, shut up! He's like, have you got to the Buffy bot yet? And I'm like, don't talk about the Buffy bot.
I don't even think
you forget.
Noticed. It just flies over my head. Whatever. This is one of the bonuses of having short-term memory disorder.
I'm like,
you're welcome.
Matt, don't talk about. We're not at the Buffy bot yet. Like, yeah. So now we can talk about the Buffy bot.
So now you can tell Matt he can bring it up.
Yeah. I think it was so we've mentioned before. It was such a funny episode in juxtaposition to the ending, which is, like, very important for Spike's relationship to the Scoobies, because he was building it, and then it was completely destroyed by his feelings for Buffy coming out. And now it's feeling like they can maybe trust him a little bit more. I can trust him again. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Obviously, we got to put, I should maybe put this at the beginning. What Spike was doing was bad.
It's not okay.
Not okay. Bad. Bad boy, which he would actually love to hear. But it is not good. Not good, Spike.
No.
Yes, so we do not condone
building women robots,
women robots
sex slaves
to have sex with. We do not condone this. No. And then the guide, the whole guide thing was very important too. Like that was a very important scene. I would say that's probably the most important scene of this episode, even though it wasn't my favorite.
What does it mean?
What does it mean? What does it mean? Yeah, talking to the guide and getting what she told. Buffy doesn't understand either, so we don't need to understand it. Buffy's like, what?
Fine.
What?
Fine.
What?
Some of us want to understand it now.
Yeah, I know. But it was very important. But the good thing is, you only have a couple episodes left, so you won't have to wait long.
Couples 4, by the way, people.
4. Yes, 4. This is, what was this? I can't remember.
18.
18, 19, 22, 1, 2, 2. Yeah, 4.
Like a month.
Yeah. So, that was very, very important.
Okay.
And we'll have, I'm just going to stop talking about it. How about that? I'm going to say too much. Yeah, so very funny. The guide, the ending, Spike, bad Spike, and then good Spike. Like when the chips were down, he made the right decision. You know, and all that. And then, hello, Buffy Bot. Love Buffy Bot. All right, so your question for the next episode. Okay, so it's called Tough Love. Who is the next Scooby to be targeted by Glory?
Okay, this time I'm going to say Tara.
Sarah Michelle Gellar, look out. Okay, you're going to say Tara. Okay.
Yep, let's go with Tara this time.
All right. God, poor Tara.
Even though I said it last time and I was wrong.
You're like, you just keep saying Tara until something happens to her.
Yep, that's right. I keep guessing her name. It's got to be right one of these times.
Yeah. Your odds eventually will pay off. All right, we'll see if Tara, how she fares in the next episode. So that wraps up Season 5, Episode 18, Intervention. Again, you can find us on all major podcast apps and YouTube and Instagram at One Girl in All the World Pod. You can also email us at onegirlpod@gmail.com. Thanks for joining us, and we'll be back next week with Season 5, Episode 19, Tough Love. Slay you real soon.
Bye.